How you doing today? So it's going back to the previous video. Stop the water before it overflows all over the place. Proverbs 17:14. But it happened in my life. I mean, I didn't do it. I didn't argue with anybody, but it happened in my life. One time I was in the hospital, and because I was waiting in the hospital, I was in the waiting room right there, for an appointment. I was sitting down, had a cyst on my bottom, and I couldn't sit properly. It was a pain. I was in pain, and there was two guys right there sitting down, looking at each other, and it looked like the dam's gonna break out. Like the water was gonna overflow. And next thing you know, they both got up and they just started arguing with each other. They started saying bad words, and threatening, like they want to kill each other. And they about to start a fight, and I got up, I started praying, like said a short prayer, and by the strength, by the power of God, I got up, and I told the young guy, not worth it, bro. Don't do it. Just sit back down. Don't argue with him because it's gonna get worse. Something could happen to you. Very bad could happen to you. So the guy sat down. He listened to me, and the older man left. And there's police right there ready to tase both of them. He had to tase their gun. They had like the trigger already in their hand, and it was pretty interesting. But I stayed with the younger guy, gave him the gospel of Jesus Christ, and God saved him on the spot. It was pretty awesome. And I just gave him instructions how to live his new life and everything. And about 30 minutes later, the older man came back, and he asked him to forgive him. What he did, they were arguing with each other, and the people were waiting right there watching, and they erupted with applause. That was pretty awesome. But um, when somebody's trying to argue with you, it's just better not to argue with them. Just walk away. Just walk away or stay quiet. Just listen what they got to say. Be wise and don't speak. Just listen carefully what they say because it sounds foolish. Okay? It sounds foolish, especially when they're telling you things, irritating you, getting you angry, whether at your home or a job place or wherever. And I'm seeing road rage videos and everything, and um, especially when people are drunk, see things and then they get knocked out. It's pretty sad, but it just happens. It's just that's all it is, But it's better to stop the water from overflowing in your life. Live peacefully, like we read in Psalms 23. He leads me beside still waters, right? Peacefully, just have peace, God's peace. We're reading again in Galatians chapter 5. One of the fruit of the Spirit is peace. So that's all I can leave you today. God bless you.